India has been a land formed by the bonds of pilgrimages. Mahatma Gandhi, in his seminal work on Swaraj, stated that the pilgrim centers of India actually make the nation. In India, the pilgrim places and pilgrimages transcend mere individual religious beliefs and have larger dimensions: individual, social, ecological, and economic. And all these are on the foundation of the spiritual. Of all the states in India, Tamil Nadu has a lot of temple towns that have served the great Indian pilgrimage. The bulk of tourism for Tamil Nadu is from Tirthayatras. Among these, Rameshwaram is the most important center. The statistics provided by the Department of Tourism for 2012 show Rameshwaram attracted the maximum number of pilgrims visiting South India, with a phenomenal 2.4 crore people. Already, the Thanjavur Brihadishwarar temple has been recognized as a UNESCO heritage site. Recently, there has been news that Rameshwaram temple is also going to be declared by UNESCO the same way. This has opened a global window to highlight Rameshwaram as a whole, as a unique heritage island thanks to its sacred geography and ecology. It is not an accident that Gulf of Mannar, the largest marine biodiversity hotspot of Asia, is so near to this holy island. There is a symbiotic relation between the sacred geography and biodiversity. All this will no doubt increase the pilgrimage inflow to the island, which in turn will usher in an era of development. But we know that lopsided development at the cost of environment has often resulted in pilgrimage centers becoming epicenters of natural calamities. The present conditions of Rameshwaram Island are essentially recipe for ecological degradation and disaster. Even as we enter Rameshwaram Island, we are greeted with plastic bags, polythene carrier covers, which in heaps suffocate the sideways. The ineffectual avoid plastic signs stand a mute witness even as a burning plastic smoke rises in the air. As we move further inside, we see repeated signs of pollution. There is a general sense of uncaring neglect ripe in the atmosphere. It is not that effort has not been made. There are modern waste collecting bins installed throughout. However, the public apathy has darkly transformed even these garbage collection bins into centers of waste accumulation and spilling over rather than collection and removal of garbage. Cattle roam around and they eat the polluted garbage. This can be a source of many health problems in an overcrowded pilgrim center like Rameshwaram. Where is the feeling of a sacred atmosphere that has to come naturally to this holy island? Even as they walk around the temple, the pilgrims encounter posters desecrating the sanctity of the temple walls and adjoining places. Abandoned houses and humans can be seen all around as if symbolic of the depressing ambience of the holy town left for itself to survive, almost on inertia and public lethargy. Overflowing garbage, gangs of beggars, roads filled with filth, and all kinds of pollutants thrown out by uncaring vendors as well as visitors characterize any path that leads to the central temple. Electric wires ominously crisscross the buildings, some of which can be definitely considered heritage buildings, showcasing the building styles of yester-centuries and now left uncared. In the shops, apart from the usual shell craft and some calendar art photos of deities, there is nothing specific to Rameshwaram. Rather, the shops overflow with Chinese toys. Even cans sold for carrying home Rameshwaram Tirtham lack any cultural or sacred dimension. Thus, the kind of merchandise that the pilgrim can take home with a feeling of taking Rameshwaram with him or her is conspicuous by its glaring absence. Despite all these prevailing conditions, there is hope. Rameshwaram, being a compact island, provides a great opportunity to develop a green pilgrimage model for a sustainable and holistic holy experience. Can that be done? Here we present a blueprint for achieving this goal. The key advantage here is that the island is manageable with an area of 53 square kilometers and a population density of 750 per square kilometer. Further, with more than 70% of the population being involved in pilgrim-related services and industries, the developing of a green pilgrimage model which shall supplement their livelihoods in a sustainable way can be executed very easily with local support. The proactive steps should be taken even as a pilgrim enters the island. Now, dull information boards which only say the distances can be transformed. They can inform the pilgrims that they are entering Rameshwaram, a unique, sacred island, that this is the island where Sri Rama worshipped Shiva in the form of a linga, formed by the very soil of this island. Thus, the message of eco-veneration should be driven into the mind of the pilgrims. They should feel that they are entering a unique zone of green pilgrimage. Maps should be available that creatively present the sacred geography of Rameshwaram, as has been done in the cases of Puri Jagannath and Benares. There are places of historical and mythological significance which are not given their due importance. It is time these areas are highlighted to make the pilgrimage more connected to the island. But the immediate problem to be taken up shall be making the island hygienic and clean. A look at the Agni Tirtham, which is supposed to be the pinnacle of pilgrim experience at Rameshwaram, shows the magnitude of the need of good sanitation facilities. This problem has to be treated on war footing in Rameshwaram. Solid waste management has to be combined innovatively with good sanitation. An example is Mahabalipuram. At this tourist center, the organic waste generated has been converted into electricity in a coordinated effort by an NGO, local administration and the community. At Rameshwaram, for every type of garbage such as plastic, paper, glass, organic as well as inorganic, etc., means of recycling need to be implemented and integrated with the waste collection centers. Here, community voluntary groups can be involved who can function as recycle volunteers for a green Rameshwaram. The island as of now is bereft of a green coverage. We need to increase the green cover of the island through campaigns for tree planting, both individually as well as collectively. It is also necessary to revive the notion of a participatory eco-pilgrim. Here, the pilgrim will be encouraged to plant a tree sapling or a herbal plant as part of the pilgrimage as a deed of punya. The number of polluting vehicles can be reduced by giving incentives to horse-drawn and bullock cart-drawn carriages as well as electric vehicles. At least some lanes and routes can be reserved for the green and heritage transport. This will also help revive these green transport systems which as of now stand marginalized. Clean green energy sources can be increasingly installed in the island town. Already, the house of APJ Abdul Kalam, which has become a new pilgrim center for Indian youth, has complete solar installation. The Tamil Nadu state government, also in a visionary endeavor, is installing solar electrification in pilgrim centers. Rainwater harvesting has to be optimized in the island. This also demands priority given the geography of the island. The temple itself has to be studied for the presence of water harvesting features. Already, the island is endowed with traditional water harvesting structures which are being renovated as of now by Vivekananda Kendra. If also every household is made to have an active water harvesting means, then Rameshwaram Island shall be ready to harvest optimum water every monsoon. This also means increased carrying capacity for the island ecosystem. To sustain this, regular internal green audit has to be carried out for hygiene, proper waste disposal and recycling, increasing the green cover, green and clean transport, renewable energy installations and rainwater harvesting. Places of pilgrimages have to be made sparkling clean. Localized merchandise have to be innovatively created. Places of historic interest should be highlighted through creative panels and guide literature. With almost entire India coming here for ages, the island has many age-old community and state-based institutions. If networked effectively, every pilgrim can get the feeling of a miniature India at Rameshwaram, starting from staying places to various food vendors. This is another great potential to be used to make Rameshwaram pilgrimage a unifying experience. All these diverse activities have to be coordinated to align them towards the central aim, which is making Rameshwaram a green pilgrimage center. Naturally, this cannot be done in isolation or by a single agency or state. A green pilgrimage network has to be created for Rameshwaram, which in turn has to be chaired by the district collector, the line departments, the special interest groups, the scientific establishments, the various educational institutions in and around the island. Such a network can efficiently take care of and promote the eco-pilgrimage. It is not an easy task. It needs a lot of stakeholders, turnkey agencies, local communities, etc. coming together for a greater common good. Together, let us all pull the chariot of green eco-pilgrimage. This shall highlight Rameshwaram and put Tamil Nadu proudly and prominently in the map of the World Green Pilgrimage Network. And when we have accomplished this, our posterity will look at us with pride and gratitude.